This month, we want to go straight to the heart of the Filipino wallet. Check your wallets now. May nakita ka ba? Masaya ka ba sa nakita mo? Huwag kang matakot, i-check mo ngayon. So, if masaya ka sa nakita mo, then this show will make you even happier. Pero, if tinignan mo yung wallet mo ngayon at hindi mo nagustuhan ang natunghayan mo, my friend, this show is for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Juan de la Cruz does not have a savings problem. We have an income situation. Good morning, Philippines. To all Filipinos out there today, nagko-commute or hindi, sa mga may pangarap, may plano umunlad, sa mga Pilipino na tinutulungan ng sarili, sa mga estudyante at willing pa ring matuto, welcome to Straight Talk, Daily Tribune's take on serious issues and potential solutions that might just work for you. So this month, we tackle financial inclusion and financial literacy, the case, the problem, and the answer. I mentioned that we don't have a savings problem. We have an income situation. So how do we produce income apart from working for it? Or working for money? Do you know how? Well, most of us know how. Probably some are clueless. But for those who know how, are you doing it? Or you're just letting the idea marinate in your brain? So the big question, do you save to spend it on Christmas? Just to spend it on Christmas? Do you save just to spend it on a dream material thing or vacation? Is it bad? I don't think so. After all, money is made to be spent. But to fund these fun times, do we save to fund an income-producing asset? Do we save to fund a small business, your startup, your business? Do we save and not spend it because we have multiple sources of income? In today's episode, I have invited a dear friend of mine. She has been advising me, and of course, probably advising a lot of families and saving a lot of families by doing this. A fellow Tamaraw and one of the best financial advisors I met. Let us welcome Ms. Sid Picache-Marquez, a unit manager and financial advisor from Sunlife. Welcome and good morning, Sid.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Sid. How are you? Nice seeing you again.
I am good. Good morning,
Good
morning, everyone.
Maaga tayo ngayon. Most of the
Yes.
time, sa hapon tayo nag-uusap. Welcome to the
Oo
show.
nga
Welcome to
eh.
Straight Talk.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Okay, straight away. So, I want everyone, our viewers, to know, why did you decide to enter the world of financial advisors?
Okay, so to give you a background first, so I was a marketing management graduate, and initially I've worked with big brands in FMCG companies. So I used to do their brand and marketing activations. Then back in 2017, a close friend who also offered me my very first insurance policy invited me to join Sunlife as a financial advisor. So at first, I was hesitant because it's totally a different field for me, given my background. But then I realized that this job is something that is worth doing. So I entered the financial industry, most specifically the insurance industry, as a financial advisor for so many reasons, but mainly its purpose. So actually right now, I've been with Sunlife for 5 years already. Okay, so and I'm not just a financial advisor, but also a unit manager now. So as a financial advisor, it gives me the opportunity to spread financial literacy, which is to educate and share the value and importance of being financially secured and future ready. So I'm able to change someone's life and their families by helping them to start taking steps to have money for life. So when we say money for life, it is Sun Life's way of helping you create your own personalized financial plan based on different stages of your life and wherein each life stage, it has a unique set of goals and needs. So to have money for life means enjoying the financial freedom to live your life as you choose, because you are prepared for the expected and the unexpected events in our journey.
Great. So, what makes it really interesting is the word freedom, financial freedom. Probably we can tackle that later on. So you
Yeah.
mentioned you've talked with a lot of families and you've emphasized the importance of financial education. That's something we need right now to focus on. I mean, the new government's doing a lot of work early on to support the economy, to support the country. So, dapat tapatan siya talaga ng from the people's side. This new energy, this new focus on financial education. But going straight to the second question, so what makes it important? Ito na nga, dito tayo papasok. What makes it important for every Pinoy? Not just the ones who are, well educated, but for every Pinoy out there, for all the walks of life, to be aware and specifically well versed in finance. Why? What makes it important?
Yes, so it is important to be aware of our finances because it will help us plan ahead, to avoid and eliminate financial problems. So it's gonna be easier for us to cope from it. We have daily needs, diba? And we make
Yep.
decisions that greatly involves money every day. So, and know that money is behavioral. No? So behavioral siya. And how we deal with it would tell more about ourselves, our character. It impacts our sense of morality, our relationships with others, and our mental health. No? So when we say, yun nga sabi natin, diba, we have daily needs. So every day, there are really situations that you would ask yourself, wait lang, what should I do today? I'm gonna check my budget. So for example, when it comes to food, diba, that's basic need eh. No, so you will think na, ano kaya yung pasok sa budget ko? Diba? Given that the prices of commodities right now are really increasing, diba? So what should be the best thing to do, diba, when it comes to this kind of situations? And same is, for example, like in transportations, diba? Every day we go. Right now, syempre, it's more lax, diba? We're getting back to we are now in the new normal, so maluwag na, lumalabas na tayo. And when it comes to talking about transportation, diba, you would ask yourself, wait, ang taas ng gas ngayon. Diba?
True.
You're gonna decide
Kahit yung
should I
mayayaman,
do
nagre-reklamo.
exactly. So
Yeah.
you're gonna think na, am I going to bring my car? Or should I just go for commute? Do I just ride
Or
a
use your
Grab,
bike, di ba? Or
bus,
madami
use
nagbabike
your
ngayon.
bike? Yes, diba? So, kumbaga, you're checking your options, diba?
Yes.
So that is very important kasi every day you're every day kumbaga involve talaga yung money, involve yung finances in every decision that. And being financially literate means that you don't decide based on your emotions, but with thorough understanding of what could be the financial impacts in the present and future. So in every decision you make, it can affect your present and of course your future. So you are aware, when you're financially literate, you are aware on ways on how to properly manage or budget your finances. Then there, you can have a financially responsible decisions. So when we say financial literacy, it also talks about planning, building your funds for what you need. It starts from saving for emergency funds, protecting your income, preparing for the education of your kids, saving for life milestones, protecting your health, preparing for your retirement, and building legacies through the wealth that you have created. But if you remember earlier that I mentioned money for life, So when you say money for life, it addresses the goals and needs in different life stages. So ito yung mga yun na how do you plan for it? Kumbaga, you don't just look at your current situation, no? Hindi lang just short term yung tinitignan natin, but also a long term goals and needs natin. How do we address them? And that is why it is important to know how to handle finances properly, because if we don't know how to manage them and control our money, money will control us.
True. Very
Money
true.
will control us.
That's very true.
And if we don't know where our money is going, money will just pass through our hands. Diba? So parang paycheck to paycheck ka na. Diba? And if we don't know how to maximize the use of our money, then we also lose opportunities. No? So these things may lead us to, poor decisions and then eventually to unfortunate situations.
Thank you for that, Sid. Napakaganda na sinabi mo. And specifically, I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes. So money is behavioral. That's true.
Yes.
That's true. And sometimes just to add, and sometimes we're not aware that we're making financial decisions unconsciously. Because it has been behavioral. Sometimes we spend and we're not really aware of the impact of it long term.
Okay.
That's why it's an attitude. Spending, financial lifestyle is an attitude, 'di ba? And isa sa mga tumatak dapat palagi tinataan before it goes out. 'Di ba? There's a specific ruling, 'di ba? Always keep your money, 'di ba? Before it goes out, 'di ba? Before it goes out. Tama 'yung sinabi mo kanina.
Yes.
You should remind yourself, wait lang. 'Di ba? Stop for a while, 'di ba? And look for the impact of it. That's why it's very important that you highlighted that there should be a specific goal for building wealth. Regardless of who you are, whether you're a simple person with just a single source of income or a person with multiple sources of income, you should consider building wealth long term. And in considering that, dun papasok yung spending attitude. Dun papasok yung behavioral. So, given that, so tama-tama sa third question, so our third question is, what problems, eto, and I'm really telling everyone watching right now, and if you can share, this is very important so that most of our friends and loved ones could be aware of this. What problems are likely to happen if an adult, Filipino adult, is not financially literate? Yan ang question.
Yes. So, if we are not prepared for life uncertainty, so what are these life uncertainties? So, sickness, accidents, death, and then of course, not only that, the needs and goals that you're gonna have for your everyday living, diba? And in the next days, in the long term, no. So if we are not prepared for those kind of things, then it may cause some financial impact to each one in the family, and someone can be a burden. Filipinos can experience financial shortage, ibig sabihin hindi enough. Diba? Shortage in household expenses such as rent, utilities, bills, and food. Diba? And some may experience also insufficiency in school expenses for their kids. No? Also, insufficiency in expenses for medical treatments and on loan payments. No? So this can all boil down on our behavior when we receive our money. So I'd like to share with you, so you've been mentioning about saving habits, So I'd like to share with you 3 behaviors of Filipinos when it comes to money and saving habits. So the first is the typical behavior of Filipinos. That the moment you receive your income or salary, without too much thinking, automatically the next best thing to do is to spend the money, right?
Nako, ang dami niyan. Last Friday, madami yan.
Last Friday is payday, no?
Yeah, madami yan.
So when you receive your income, usually talaga, the first thing that pops in your mind, where will I spend this? Diba?
Galit na galit pa yan. Galit yan, nagmamadali yan.
nagmamadali pa, di ba? Bagong sweldo ako, ano bang magandang bilhin, di ba? And naiinis ka pa minsan pagka di mo maisip agad kung ano ba yung bibilhin mo, no? And then, after that, after spending your income, at may natira pa, di ba? Magugulat ka pa na, hindi ba, may na-save pala ako. No? So, magugulat ka pa na may na-save ka pa. So, you call this behavior an accidental savers.
Attitude, di ba?
Yes, so, behavior again, di ba? So, ito yung mga tao na hindi sinasadyang makaipon pa.
Surprise!
Diba? Kasi, first thing in their mind nga is to get rid of their money, spend it elsewhere. Diba? And then, magugulat sila na, may na-save pa pala ako. So, wow, congrats to myself. Diba? May naipon pa. And then, the second behavior of Filipinos is the worst behavior.
Worst?
Yun.
Okay.
Yan, oo. So, wag po sanang matamaan. Yan, kung sino man matamaan yan, let's reflect on ourselves. So, the second is the worst behavior. Ito yung hindi mo pa nakukuha yung income mo. Pero gumagastos ka na. Ano yun, di ba? So, gumagastos ka na, hindi mo pa na-receive yung income mo. So, that is, welcome to the world of plastic money.
Mga plastic
so
yan. Mga plastic na tao.
So, debit cards yan, hindi mga tao. No? So, these are debit cards and credit cards. Di ba? So, ginagastos mo na, pero wala pa sa yung income mo. Nauuna na yung gastos because you're using your debit cards and credit cards. So, now, is it bad to have a credit card?
Ha?
So ako, I would say, ikaw, Sir Paul, ayan. Do you think is it bad to have a credit card?
Well, specifically, it depends on how you use debt. Debt is an instrument. It's not a negative thing. It's an instrument for those who know it benefits them. For those who don't know, that's why it becomes the worst.
Yes, agree on that. No, so having a credit card is not really bad. Yeah. So I agree with you there, Sir Paul. So for as long as you know how to use it.
Yes.
Diba? So let me share with you at least 3 points on the proper use of credit card. So number 1, use your credit card to buy only the things that you need and not the things that you want.
Yes, specifically.
Ayan, no? Need po, no? Use it for your needs, not for wants. Ayan. So your credit card does not increase your money. Diba? At first, isipin natin na, may credit card ako, so I have extra money, But really,
that's not extra money.
Your money.
It's the bank's money. It's the bank's
money. Exactly. So credit cards does not increase your money, but only your spending ability.
Spending footprint,
diba?
Yes.
Yes. No, so, yes, I agree with you. It's the bank's money. No, so don't use other people's money to buy your wants. Diba? So save money instead so you can buy what you want. No? So the worst that can happen is you end up buying your wants using other people's money, and almost always it results to bad consumer debts.
Ayan.
Diba?
True.
So feeling
Very
mo
true.
minsan, kaya nga diba sa pag may credit card ka, you feel na, I have extra money, I can buy this and that, diba? I can go for Shopee and Lazada shopping this, diba? Yung mga monthly sale, diba? So, unang-una niya, ginagamit yung credit card nila, but they forget na it's not their money, no? So, that's the first thing that's the first point that you have to remember when you use your credit card. You use it for your needs, no? And not for wants. And then second, if you can limit your credit card to only one card, please do so. Okay? So, if alam mo na mahihirapan ka to limit yourself, di ba, when it comes to spending, wag ka na mag-apply ng another credit card, di ba? So,
paano daw yung mga pinapadala ng envelope? Iba kasi may dumadating na envelope. Tapos pag nakita ni Mrs., patay!
Diba?
Diba? Kaya ako, di ako nagdadala ng credit card pag pumupunta sa mall. No.
Actually, alam mo, yung iba nga, they feel na parang, parang ang saya nito kasi ang dami kong credit cards, diba? Parang feeling nila mayaman sila. But really, no? So there is a wrong connotation about that because really, it's not your money, no? So you will just be tempted in just using those credit cards.
Yes.
No? So as much as possible, if you can limit it to one, then better, diba? So ikaw na mismo mag-limit sa sarili mo, diba? And lastly, third point, when it comes to the use of credit cards, be aware of your real credit limit. It's not what the bank tells you, because it has something to do with how much is your monthly salary. So in reality, limit your use of your credit card only up to one third of your monthly salary, because
Ha!
it means that you
Yan. Yan ang
can
kailangan
pay
mong
it back.
malaman. Kailangan lang malaman. Kasi before, probably most of the Filipinos today, ang titignan lang yung credit limit. And then they're gonna spend until
Correct.
they hit that. But it's very important that you pointed out at least one third. One third only of your credit
Yeah.
limit. One third only. Kasi, credit card is not a status symbol. Credit
Agree.
card is not a status symbol. It's not something you should be proud about. It's an instrument. It's an instrument
Yes.
of the wise and probably not so good instrument of the not so wise. No, we're not against the banks or credit cards. We're just highlighting a wiser use of it. Of course, there are a lot of benefits na napoproduce talaga ng having a credit card, but of course, use it wisely, di ba?
Agree with that. So now, where do we want to bring everyone when it comes to saving your money? No, so we're teaching people to go to behavior number 3, wherein even before you receive your monthly salary, yan, you ask yourself first, no, how much of my salary can I set aside as savings? No? So, iniisip mo na agad, pinaplano mo na meron kang masasave. How much can you save? No? So, even before you touch or spend a portion of your money, no, savings should come to mind first. Yan. Pay yourself first. Diba?
True.
So, kasi
Very true.
If for example, diba, gawin natin yung behavior 1, yung behavior 2, what do you think about your savings? Can you have savings if that is your behavior? Diba? But when we go to this behavior 3, now wherein when you receive your income, you will think first, how much can I pay myself first? Kasi pay yourself first. No? Ikaw naman yun eh. No? Now, when you save it, that is for you. No? So, you set aside savings, and then after that, whatever is left, that is what you will use for your spending.
Yan yung common mistake sa mga Pinoy because they adjust the savings.
Yes.
We prioritize on the month-on-month expenses, and then kung ano matitira, that's the savings. That's what financial education and literacy is all about, is to change the attitude and the thinking. So to our fellow Filipinos out there, kung nasaan man kayo, kung nakikinig kayo, so this is very important to have a priority. Let's say you're earning this amount. When you get the paycheck, you pay yourself first. Tama si Sid, you pay yourself first. You should have a specific quota. Ayan quota. Savings quota a month. So that quota is the first thing that you will do when you get your paycheck. Alisin ang quota kagad. Tago na kagad yan. Savings. And then, tsaka ka na ngayon, pwede mag-adjust on the expenses. With that, and if you will be able to achieve that month on month, then lalaki yung savings mo for the year. After yun, malaki na yun. Pag malaki na yun, nakita ng bank, you have a good record, tataas ang credit credit record mo, and then, possibly, in the future, baka pwede kang makapag-business loan. Diba?
Yeah.
Or no, diba? Anyway, so, that's my take.
Yeah. Actually, I'll have to add on that. No, so when we do the behavior 3, that when you receive your income, you set aside part of your income to savings. No, so ito kasi yung I think what others don't know how they will start. Diba? Kasi baka iniisip nila na kailangan ba kalahati ng sahod ko agad yung kailangan kong itabi. Diba? So, ito, you are also building a habit first, no? So, you can start with, let's say, 5% of your income, no?
Yeah.
5% on the first month that you're starting to save, no? So, 5%, and then eventually parang nakakayanan ko yung 5. What if I increased it to 10% naman on the second month?
Yes.
Diba? 10%, and then, if mas kaya mo pa, you can taasan mo pa to 15%. And then, if you have, let's say, another source of income, then you can save at least 20%, no? 20% of your income. So, kumbaga, this is, you are building a habit. So, unti-unti, kailangan mong natuturuan yung sarili mo na you are setting aside for your savings. No? So, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to start big, na 20%, 50% agad. Because, of course, you have daily needs. Diba? So, ito lang is that it teaches you to build the habit na every time you receive your income, you are setting aside for your savings.
Yes.
So know that your ability to save has nothing has nothing to do with the size of your income. And kasi probably some other people are also thinking, teka lang, parang feeling ko naman sakto-sakto lang yung sahod ko sa akin. Pero you have to check on it first, no? So check on your financial status, check on your cash flow. Because, again, money is behavioral and it has to do with our discipline to save. No, so even if, for example, your salary is, kumbaga, i-compare mo siya, a salary na 100,000 versus a salary na 20,000. Pero, if 100,000 yan and your behavior is, you just spend it and spend it and spend it, di ba? You don't know where your money is going. Then, same lang yon na mangyayari dun sa experience ng 20,000. And what if naman si 20,000 earner, he is monitoring his expenses. He know where his money is going. Diba? So, hindi yan, wala yan sa income mo. It's
True.
really your discipline to save. So, if your problem is your inability to manage your earnings, no amounts of earnings will solve your problem. Okay? So, hindi income ang problema dyan. No? So, it's your behavior and your discipline. Okay? So, ito yung first problems that, of course, you're gonna see, no? And then next would be, what are the other problems pa, no? So, if for example, so one of the life uncertainties that we have, of course, na hindi natin alam, diba, if we're gonna experience this or when. No? So, if for example, if you get sick,
lalo na ngayon, uso yan. Uso yan ngayon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Diba? So, actually, ito, when pandemic hits, when COVID hits, diba? So, parang lahat tayo nabigla diba? Lahat tayo, we were exposed to that health risk, no? We were exposed to that health risk, no? So, if you get critically ill, where will you get your funds to cover your hospitalization and medical expenses? Kung dun sa first problem pa lang natin, na savings, medyo 50-50 na tayo, wala ka na, diba? So, pero if for example, sige, sabihin natin, may na-save ka. At first, you can use your hard-earned savings. Diba? Pero again, hard-earned savings mo yun. And I'm sure
that's not the purpose of savings diba? That's not the purpose of savings Tama yung sinabi mo. If 50-50 ang savings mo, malamang sa malamang, ma-50-50 ka din pag na-accident. Diba? It's a reality. It's a reality.
It's a reality na yun nga, ang magagamit mo would be your hard-earned savings. And sabi mo nga, it's not the purpose of it. You didn't save for spending it.
Yes.
When you get sickness, when you get hospitalized, diba? Then, what will fill in the gap? Diba? Siyempre, pag naubos mo na yung savings mo, what will fill in the gap? Your HMO? Can it suffice? Diba? Or ang tanong pa, may HMO ka pa ba? Diba? May HMO ka ba? So, your HMO could not be enough as well.
Naubos na ng
what's
pandemic.
The next thing? Naubos na ng pandemic. So, what's the next thing that you will do? Ayan, ito, marami ang nag-resort to this kind of how they cope up with this situation. So, the next thing they do, what? They borrow from relatives, from friends. Diba? But ask yourself, is it easy to ask help from other people? Lalo na sa panahon ngayon, diba? So it's hard to ask help from other people, ask for financial assistance from other people because they have financial problems, diba? So it's sad, of course, na you're gonna result to that. And syempre, we want na pagka nagkasakit tayo, we want to, of course, recover, diba? So but dadating tayo dun sa point na pag nagkaroon ng sakit, you have to sell this, sell your things, sell your house, sell your car, diba? And that is really not what you want to happen.
That's why nauso ngayong pandemic yung mga online selling and this and that. Because of that. People need to liquidate and of course get more cash. But Sid, before we continue with question number 4, which is a bit deep dive on the situation we're talking to. We'll talk more about that, financial literacy, after these reminders. You're still watching Straight Talk. Still with us is Unit Manager and Financial Advisor from Sunlife, Sid Picache-Marquez. Welcome back, Sid.
Yes, hello.
Okay, nag-commercial break tayo for a bit. Okay, we're moving forward to a more, tawag dito, more larger scale in observing the problem. So I have a specific question for you. Kasi last year, so BSP released an issue, no? Their national strategy for financial inclusion. Now, everybody watching, I want you to take a guess. How many people, specifically Filipinos today, do you think are still unbanked? Any guess? Any guess?
Any guess?
Any guess? What do you think, Sid? How many Pinoys today are unbanked? Walang bank account.
Actually,
literal wala.
Yeah. Actually, I've checked on that, of course. No? So based on BSP, no, surprisingly, 41 million Filipinos, or half of country's population, are still unbanked.
Wow.
No, because of so they mentioned there, it's because of having access to digital solutions that allow them to use it for their daily needs, pay bills, and etc. So and itong platforms na to these are such as like GCash, PayMaya, GrabPay. So because of those being available, others didn't think of
opening
opening a bank account because they already have that kind of tool, no, financial or digital solutions, no. So when pandemic happened, there's been an increase in adoption of mobile money, and yun nga na although 7 out of 10 unbanked adults in the Philippines own mobile phones, no. So online banking and use of mobile phones for transaction or financial transactions is being adopted at a slow rate.
Yes.
Yeah. So because why? Because the BSP noted that a lack of awareness on online financial service offerings and a preference for completing transaction in person still stood as the major barriers to the shift na mag-online banking sila.
Papasok
So,
ulit yung education talaga eh. It's very
Yes,
important.
so awareness and education, and others are still traditional, and then in addition to the barriers would be yung iba talagang they have trust issues, of course, when it comes to online transactions.
Trust issues, yes.
Yeah, because
That's
of experiences of other people na they are, missing or funds from their bank accounts, diba? Yung hacking. So, we cannot really remove that from their worries when they do online transactions or online banking, di ba? Kasi many have experienced that. Even I, no, I have experienced that, unfortunately, na talagang there are online, hacking that, you don't see really
Recently,
that
ano?
your
Recently,
money
nauso
is
siya.
being protected and secured, no? So I think that's what I'd like to, raise sana to the government, or sana makita nila tong concern na to, na when it comes to, online hacking,
They
online
are on it,
phishing,
yes, yes. They have.
wherein these hackers can really access your accounts, everything, diba? So I guess we really have to strengthen on that part, no, na so that people will shift to online banking, online transactions, no, kasi ito, when we shift to that kind of platform, then there is of course growth, there is
True.
advancement, diba?
Very
So
true.
there could be efficiency in how we do business, no. But however, there are reservations from other people because of this kind of experiences. So kaya we have to address that, no?
Alam mo, Sid, actually, you've mentioned again financial education. Most of Filipinos today, and even non-Filipinos outside of the country, are not aware that part of that financial education is also knowing how to protect your account. It's not just the government, it's not just the banks and the custodians of the wealth, but specifically Filipinos, because most of the cases of hacking are actually Pinoys who were victims of phishing. Email
Yeah.
phishing, bigla may magte-text, hihingin yung credentials. Ikaw naman, you're not aware, magtitiwala ka doon sa nag-text, you give your credentials. It happens in SMS, in online messaging, chats and messaging. It even happens mostly in emails. Most of our account holders are really not aware.
Online.
Oo, online, not aware of that. So, minsan pag may nag-email sa'yo, basta sinabi, okay, bank ABC, di ba? You need to update your ganito because of some problems. Please reply your name, bank detail, password, PIN, di ba? So, that's it. The next thing we'll know, galit na siya sa bangko. So, we also need to help people be educated. That part of being financially literate is also being aware of these attacks. Actually, they're not attacking the banks, they're attacking the account holders. So isa yun sa mga angulo. And you also mentioned kanina, no, almost half. Tama ba? Half, ano? Almost half are unbanked because they're transferring to online digital wallets, GCash PayMaya, and the likes. Pero I'd also like to highlight that these e-wallets are actually not serving as savings. Actually, isa sa mga napansin natin, nag-accelerate yung spending because of this. Diba? And yes, nag-accelerate. Before credit card lang, may proseso, diba? You have to enter yung PIN, security, or whatever. Pero pag online kasi, you have a Grab Pay, diretso na yan, diba? We're not against this company, but we're highlighting the spending attitude. Kasi nga, again, I have here the report from National Strategy for Financial Inclusion released by the Bangko Sentral ng Filipinas. 7 out of 10 adult Filipinos do not have transaction account, specifically transaction account that is rooted from probably a savings account. So what does that mean? That means there's a big opportunity. I'm not mentioning problem, there's still big opportunity for financial inclusion. And the topic that we're talking here right now should be an eye-opener for a lot of students, specifically students as early as now, diba? You should be aware of changing spending attitudes, because if you change and if you improve, nakinig kayo sa advice ni Sid, diba? Nakinig kayo sa advice ni Sid, then you'll be better prepared, diba? Mas prepared kayo when you go out and encounter the problems na binanggit ni Sid. So, speaking of students, pupunta tayo sa number 5. Question number 5. What are the first things Filipino students, pumasok tayo sa students, Filipino students need to learn about finance or specifically wealth management. Ano sa tingin mo yung pinaka-basic na una nilang dapat i-prioritize in handling their finance?
Yes. Actually, right now, no, based on my observation, finance is already part of the curriculum in college and also in senior high, I think. No?
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yep.
finance in the sense of really how you manage your money. No, so nagulat ako na wow, it's already part of it, and that's actually a good step, no, that it is now being included. No, so it
True.
means that there
Very
is
true.
really a need to expose this kind of teaching, this kind of learnings, this kind of education to students, no. Yan. So, teenagers. So, when it comes to finance or financial planning, when we say financial planning, wealth management, it means you're managing your money to do three things.
Three things.
So
Okay.
three things. So, first is to protect what you already have. Second is accumulate more. And then third would be transfer your wealth. No, so ito yun how your money to do three things is those three: protect, accumulate, and transfer. Yeah, so actually kasi right now, no, when usually itong mga tao, they wanted to just grow their funds. Kumbaga they look for financial tool as well na okay, let's accumulate more. Let's accumulate more money, payaman tayo, di ba? So that is a typical idea of people, of Filipinos na to grow their funds, no, to grow what they currently have. But the first thing talaga that they need to know when it comes to managing your wealth, your finances, planning for your finances, the first thing is protection. Okay? You protect what you already have. And dito papasok yung mga life uncertainties like sickness, accidents, and death, no? So, you don't jump to accumulate wealth.
Agad, di ba?
Agad, yeah. You have to protect it first because there are life uncertainties that can happen to you. Na, like for example, you get sick, you magkaroon ng accident, and
Hindi
of
may
course,
iwasan yung sakit na yan. Of course, at
Yeah.
some point in time, you're gonna get sick or a family, di ba? Who knows?
yes, and of course, yung mahirap man na pag-usapan na yung mga untimely death, di ba? So, lahat tayo dadating sa point na yun, but we don't know when. No, and if those things happen, especially if you are a provider in your family, di ba? You share household expenses. No, so the important thing there is to protect your income, to protect what you currently have. So dito papasok yung mga financial tools like saving for emergency funds. Diba? Why do you have to have savings for emergency funds? Because of course, when there's emergencies happen, anong klaseng emergencies yan? No? For example, nagpagyo, nasira yung bahay mo, kailangan mo paayos. Or for example, you lost a job, diba?
Yeah, for example,
meron kang
true.
pagkukuhanan agad.
For
So
example,
that is a form.
Di ba, for example, you're an OFW and the work you do out of the country is very hazardous. Very hazardous. Of course, there are foreign companies, employers that provide specific hazard pay, insurance, and whatnot, but there are still a lot who does not have that. So, do you save for our viewers, specifically OFW ones, do you save specifically for that type of emergency? We're not telling it's gonna happen. We're hoping it's not gonna happen. But do you have that if in case? Diba? These are the things that we really need to consider because right now we have a lot of OFWs. Half of the economy, probably half, I'm not sure if this is accurate, but a big portion of the economy is being mobilized by the income being produced by OFWs. And these are our heroes today. Diba? Ang dami. So, tama ka dun, Sid, protect, accumulate, transfer. So, to protect, what are right now you're doing to watchers, to viewers, and to readers, Daily Tribune, right now, what are you doing to protect? Diba? To protect your income. Diba? Not just making it stable. So, yun. Sid.
Yes. No. So in addition to that, so yun, not only saving for emergency funds, but also having financial tools like you have HMOs to, of course, cover for short-term needs when you get hospitalized. So it's very important. And then, of course, having life insurance. No. So because sabi ko nga kanina, if you are someone who is someone is depending on your income, di ba? You won't just leave them ng zero. No? So the purpose of life insurance there is to protect what you currently have, to protect the income that you are providing. No? Kasi tayo, when we say getting insurance plans, at first we look at it as an expense. Diba? As an expense. So magiging part siya ng bills mo when you have life insurance. But when the income or ikaw mismo, the provider, ikaw yung mawala. Alam mo, dun sa lahat ng expenses na yon, it's only the insurance, no, ang magiging income mo. No? So the insurance is the income replacement. Diba? Na if anything happens, we get to that situation na mawala tayo, diba? Because someone is really depending on our income, meron tayong may iwan para sa kanila. Diba? Yung
True.
dreams natin, our goals for our families, the income that we're providing to them, no, will be replaced through insurance policies. Diba? So, yung lifestyle nila, diba? I'd like to ask you, diba, na will your family still be able to continue their living or their lifestyle pag nawala na yung income that you are providing? Ba? Do you think that they can still live the same lifestyle that they have nung time na nandun ka at pag nawala na yun?
True.
So it's the life insurance that will address that. No? So you protect, so yun nga, no? So our first thing talaga is to protect what you currently have by having this kind of tools like saving for emergency funds, HMOs, and of course life insurance policies. So yan, because when it happens, gusto mo na ready ka, di ba? So when it happens, gusto mo rin na maging ready ka.
Doon papasok doon papasok yung peace of mind. Peace of mind because right now, during the pandemic, a lot of Filipinos, regardless of your income status or your revenue status, a lot of Filipinos really worried about the future. And if you don't have a plan, di ba, you worry more about it. Wala kang peace of mind because you don't know how secured is your family in terms of economics, di ba? In terms of financial stability, financial certainty. But to skip, I'm gonna skip to, kasi nabanggit mo kanina yung mga students, I'm gonna skip to question number 8. So why do you think finance is boring to most kids? I'm not telling all, kasi may mga parents na, baka may mga parents na nanonood na talaga tinututukan yung financial literacy ng mga anak nila. But there are still a lot of kids. And so why do you think finance is boring to most kids?
Actually, I don't really like to agree na talagang is it boring for kids, diba? Because you have to ask yourself first, are you exposing them to that kind of learning?
Yes.
Diba?
Yep.
No, so I don't really think that kids are bored when you talk about money, because I guess you just need to expose them to this idea at an earlier age, diba? Creatively, in ways that kids can understand na there are some financial worries, diba? And how to resolve them. True. So that when they grow up, they will be able to manage their own finances.
Yeah,
so very simple things.
They've developed that mentality early on. Early on. That's why this question is actually specifically aimed at our Filipino parents, diba? Kasi usually when we say finance to kid, it's all about mommy or daddy, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, but anak, we cannot because of this, because of that, so you have to understand because of this, because of that. But that's not financial literacy. So ayun. So your take is a good answer, no? Probably it should not be made boring talaga for the kids. But of course, before we continue to question number 9, Straight Talk will be back afterwards. after this short break. We'll be back. And we're back. We're back on Straight Talk. So kanina we asked you to look at your wallet. May nakita ba kayo? So may bumati ba sa inyo when you opened your wallet? Not only that, of course, your account, no? So again, I've mentioned, if you're happy with what you saw, please stay tuned. In the coming series, we'll talk more about financial inclusion, literacy, probably investment strategy, and if in case nung kanina binuksan yung mga wallet nyo and you're not happy, then please do stay tuned. So we're going back. So we have Sid from Sunlife, Unit Manager and Financial Advisor. Welcome back, Sid.
Yes, hello again.
Okay, right now, so we wanted to jump to our last question, which is also very critical. So medyo visionary itong question na to and national in scope. So the question is, how do you think will our country do if majority of the youth is financially literate?
Yeah, so for me, if majority of the youth is financially literate, then our economy may become stronger. No, because as we build a country that has a financially responsible individuals, then it may lead to having good education, healthy environment, a good lifestyle, and a productive and efficient country. No, so it's a way of building or changing the culture that we've been having. Like for example, have you heard of financial dependency?
Huh? Yeah, I've heard that multiple times.
Yeah.
Madalas ko ba rinig yan?
Madalas, di ba? At matagal na to, no? So, actually embraced the culture of financial dependency. And when we say financial dependency, it's when one tends to depend on others' income or even efforts from, let's say, from other group of people, and most especially efforts from government, no, to provide and support for their needs, di ba? Kasi because of that, no, parang lagi natin, alam niyo yan, di ba? Parang sinisisi natin mostly the government na, bakit ganito lang yung sitwasyon namin, ganito yung sitwasyon ng buhay namin. So we tend to look for other people to be responsible of our current situation. That should not be the case. No? Pero ito nga na we have embraced this culture for so long, financial dependency, di ba? And if that keeps on going, no, so ito yung these are people who don't take responsibility of their finances because they know that there is someone who will catch them and cover them in times of a financial crisis. And pero ito financial dependency, ito yung kumbaga parang nasobrahan yung pagka-generous, no? But again, there's nothing wrong about being generous within your family, having a good intention to help them, and giving back is okay. But when we tolerate this, pag hindi natin binigyan ng limitation, we keep on doing it, na we keep on supporting them financially, we don't help them grow. No, and we don't help them grow and be financially free on their own. No, so ito, if we continue this kind of culture, then lagi na lang na may sisisihin yung mga tao, and most especially the government. Diba, lagi nilang
True, that's very
nakikita
true.
na yung government ay nagkukulang, diba? But let's look at ourselves first, diba? Is it you who decide to stay on that kind of situation? Diba? Pero look around you. What are the options to change your current situation, to change your current financial situation? You have other things that you can probably do to help yourself, diba? So, one best example here is also, have you heard of sandwich generation?
Just now. Ngayon wala na rin yan. Sandwich
I-
generation. Bago new
Alright,
term.
so that's why I'm here. Buti na
Sandwich
lang.
generation. Sinong
Buti na
generation
lang
yan, ha?
invited me.
Sinong
Ayan,
generation
sinong
yan?
generation yan? Actually, it is our generation right now.
Oh,
Sandwich generation. So what do we mean by sandwich generation? It is when you are tied or stuck with circumstances and left with no choice but to support two generations.
the sandwich effect. Yan na.
The sandwich effect.
Na-sandwich ka
yes. So, yeah, so it is that the first generation is you are supporting financially your first family. So, of course, these are your parents, your siblings. So you are in the middle while you support as well your own or your future family that you are currently building. So to the person who provides for both generations, surely is making it hard for them, hard for that person to really focus on his or her financial independence. Diba? And
Very,
the thing is,
very, very Pinoy.
Very
we have
Pinoy,
a lot
diba?
of that cases right now. And of
Yeah.
course, not to put a negative light on that. Of course, it's in the nasa culture din natin eh.
Yeah.
We even see that similar culture in other Southeast Asian or even Asian countries. Talagang they really tend to the entire family. It's a good attitude, but diba, prolonged, it also destroys the mentality. The mentality of the dependents. That's why nagiging sandwich. Of course, 'di ba sabi nga nila mga parents, 'di ba, the hard love of the parents is to, 'di ba, teach the kids to be financially independent. And of course, it starts with cutting the dependency. 'Di ba? So, isa yun sa mga na-encounter natin, and we are already seeing that in most of developed families, kasi we know, ako specifically, I know a lot of people my age and younger than me from well-off families na talagang binibitawan sila ng parents nila. Nag-OJT sila from this company to this. They're building their own income. They're not being supported by their parents. So isa yun sa mga mentalities, part of financial literacy and changing the mentality and attitude that Filipinos, I think, should build.
Yes. So I agree with you on that. So, and actually, because of this kind of culture as well, another example would be when we talk about retirement as well. No, that syempre, when we retire, your income will stop, right? But ask yourself, do the expenses stop when you retire? No, diba? Ayan. So I heard someone from the from the studio who said no. Diba? So relatable, no? So the expenses will not stop. It will continue as long as you are living. No,
Yes.
so you ask yourself, are you ready to retire? Are you
Ha?
ready to
Madami,
retire?
nako, madami kang dapat tanungin yan sa audience
Diba?
natin and sa mga Pinoy ngayon. There are a lot of people in the retiring range that aren't actually economically prepared for that. A lot of
Exactly.
Filipinos. And sa mga Pilipino na nanonood ngayon, ask your lolos and your lolas if they are actually prepared with that, so that you, early on, can prepare. Diba? Kasi we see a lot of people, lalo na ngayon, this pandemic season, 2 years and ongoing, we saw a lot of that cases, unprepared, economically, financially unprepared. We have a lot of senior citizens who suffered not only, diba, health-wise, but financially. And yung
Financially.
iba, 'di ba? Yung iba nawawalan ng life savings because they have to support other family members. Napapabayaan naman sila. So, this kind of problems happen because sickness and death, we encounter them because we grow old. Tumatanda tayo, and it's very important to take note that financial literacy is not just a thing that you can choose to have or not to have. It's very important and fundamental.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. So, ito, when we talk about really, being financially prepared, so you ask yourself, what am I currently doing, no? When it comes to my finances, am I leading towards to preparing for the life uncertainties that if it happens to me, I have something or someone or a plan that will cover me. And of course, when we talk about your future, diba? Will I have a good future, a brighter future after all of this, doing these things? And we were talking about retirement na. What age am I ready to retire? Am I saving for my retirement right now? Diba? Because we are not gonna be healthy forever. But time will come that our health will, of course, magkakasakit
Decline,
tayo,
yes. Yep.
magde-decline. Of course, we're not gonna be active as much as we are when we are younger, diba? So, dadating yung time that you will really choose to work still. And that's the sad part na kahit matanda ka na, it will push you to still, work because you need something to sustain you. So,
True.
so you ask yourself right now, diba, what are you currently doing? What are the steps? Have you started doing, or you want to start with doing, for you to address this kind of financial problems and financial situations?
Very true. Very
So
true.
there.
That's why in this particular episode we really wanted to highlight financial literacy, financial education, diba, inclusion. Because right now in the incoming government, we will see a lot of improvements, and dapat sumabay yung tao. So again, I'd like to say to our viewers, we will be starting to do this type of programs in helping our fellow Filipinos build a better tomorrow. So, Sid, thank you very much for joining us even on a short notice because, friends, kahapon ko lang sinabihan si Sid. Kahapon ko lang sinabihan si Sid. So thank you for joining us and sharing the vital information that right now is very important. Thank you for a very educational episode of Straight Talk. Thank you, Sid.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daily Tribune. Thank you for having me here today.
Okay, so that's Sid. So he's a friend of mine and a fellow Tamaraw. He's helping a lot of people get educated. It's not about what we give in the short term. It's about what they learn in the long term. So right now, we've learned specifically in this episode why is it crucial to be literally be financially savvy. So it helps the future, your future, and your family's future. There is an incoming government and a new and more energized government that will help a lot of people. But as you heard that we talk about, me and Sid, the solution does not lie with just the government alone or with just a government program. The government is not there to babysit the people. The future of the country always depends on the decision of you and me today. And while we wanted to have a better future, we rely on so many informations that we can see over the web, over the net. Are this information trustworthy? Are this information impartial? That's why sometimes the old ways is the better one, specifically in learning. So I wanted to invite everyone to continue reading online or on paper. Daily Tribune, your daily dose of hope. So in this episode, we learned about the basics. Savings is very important. In the coming episode, we will learn about financial instrument, probably financial strategies, as we invite industry expert and industry icons. Mga bigati na invite natin in our next episode. So thank you so much for joining us, for watching us, and for bearing with me. And thank you for tuning in. And please follow Daily Tribune on Facebook. So till then, this is Paul Inocencio, sa ngalan ni Roy, who's not with us today. Thank you so much. Daily Tribune, Straight Talk. See you next episode.
Daily Tribune would like to thank the following: Makati City, SM Supermall, Sharp, Century Peak, Prime Homes, Tulfo, DOTR Railway, LRTA, LRMC, Megawide, PGMA, DBP, CAAP, ICTSI, Aboitiz Power, Aboitiz, Udena, Cocogen, Globe, NLEX, Team Energy, MPT, Philcomsat, FDC, RCBC, Divina Law, Maya, Smart Trade, HMNF, LG, Smart, Maybank, PLDT, Caliraya, Mr. Freeze, Senator Villar, Meralco, Republic Cement, Century Property, EK, Mapicon, Carranza, Houseland, Pag-ibig, Meralco, Isuzu, Toyota, Tok, Suzuki, MG, Angkas, Mitsubishi, Beautyderm, SM Retail, NAC, Mondelez, BPI, Araneta, Insight, Pure Gold, Deco, Watson, Copiroti, Pagcor, and Simply Thai.